Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where we love books, making books, painting in books, and all things to do with paper and bits. And today I'm going to give you a little flip through of these recent books that I made and are filled with paper and bits. So I'm calling these my embroidered journals. They are up for sale right now in my shop, and you can see the link for that down below. But today I thought I'd give you a little tour of them. They are inspired by Wendy Brightbell and other people who have been embroidering covers and embellishing covers. And I do love to collage my covers, as you can see in this one that we made together. But this time I collaged with fabric. So these are a fun little book and gonna be pretty cool art journal for whoever picks them. I'm trying to decide whether to keep one for myself or not, but currently they are all listed. So let's go through and we'll start with this one. This is the only one that is made from a cover that I made from scratch. The other ones are all made from old thrifted books or books that were falling apart. And so this one I had made a cover from scratch. If you want to see how to make a cover from scratch, this is using almost the exact same techniques as in my Fern art journal, which is this one. And the cover is made basically the exact same. My friend had given me a whole bunch of these needlepoint pieces that she had thrifted and had up in her home and was no longer using, and she was going to put them at the end of the road for whoever wanted them, and I decided that I would take them. Yes, I cut them up, but I have remade them into more art. So this is all stitched right through the cover, lace, old sari. This is even my paper towel from when I've been painting. This is edges of the needlepoint fabric, and I decided to cover the inside. It's a little bumpy because of that stitching, but I thought that it was a little tidier than just seeing the backside of stitching. Now, what is different about the inside of all of these is that they are all the Frankenpapered signatures. I do have a video showing you how I made these and the technique that I used. I was inspired by Brooke Henry, who Frankenpapered all her scraps together. And I do love that technique, especially if you're wanting to be creative, but don't actually know what to paint or feel like you're not really in the drawing mood or whatever it might be, but you know you just want to put your hands on some paper. This was helpful for using papers of different size, and I glued them all together. I make a very long strip of them all glued together, and then I break that strip down into sections. So each page is not just one full piece of paper. If I were to just have used this and folded it in half for my signature, I think it helps when you're art journaling. I think this helps because it avoids that blank page syndrome and gets you going. And if this is not your color, paint over it. I don't care. I won't know. It's your book after it's yours. Some of them have old doodles. Some are just old envelopes. I used to be a calligrapher, and so there's prints in here from when I did calligraphy, all sorts of things. So that is what is super fun about the inside. They're all totally unique, totally different. So that is the magenta one. I loved this dark green book when I saw it on the shelf at my thrift store, and I think it just looks great with this bright green accent. So here's the stitching for all of this one. I'm going to flip through some of the pages to get you started on your art journaling journey. Or if you're already on an art journaling journey, to just keep it going. Here is this pink one. This one's a little thinner because the book was much smaller. But I like, it's like just a little bit bigger than A6, and so it's kind of a nice like toss in your bag sized art journal for taking on the go. I used a whole assortment. These were old, I think cross stitch patterns, just all sorts of things that had just little nice elements. Mark making, my scrap paper for painting over the edge of things to protect my desk, which clearly I don't do very well, but I just think they're so fun and would make great bases for the art that you want to make. This is another favorite of mine because this yellow ochre ribbon is so stunning. I love golden type colors like this. And the little bird. I don't know if this kind of scrappy paper or already semi-collage paper is something that you would love to work on, but it is fun to work on because it already starts you off with something. It gives you a color palette in mind. It gives you maybe a little illustration. They're just fun, or just cover them up if you don't like the base. This is a nice thicker one. It's about 1.5 inches thick. The rest of them are close to 1 inch. So this one's a little bit heavier already, but still has lots of room to be embellished. I love these black and white coloring pages. They just look so pretty in here. I did a few little illustrations on some to get you started, but by all means, if it's not your vibe, please don't hesitate to paint over it. I will not be offended. I would love to see, if you do pick up one of these, what you do with it and how you have taken the bit of pages that I've started and continue to create. And here is the last one. This one's a bit bigger. This size, it's maybe close to A5. For those of you who like a little bit of a bigger book, but it's not overly thick, which is kind of nice, so it's not going to get too bulky and too heavy. One thing I loved about these, a lot of my pieces have these deli papers that I have painted on. And I just love how they go that translucent or sometimes completely transparent, depending on the background page. It is, if you never painted on deli paper and used it in your work, I highly recommend. So there are the embroidered books. with little bits of original art, vintage paper, found papers, all sorts of different things, with beautiful, stunning covers. And they're available in the shop now if you would like one for yourself. So thank you so much for sticking around, supporting my channel, and I'll see you back next week with some more art. Bye!